So coming up now, I'm just going to show you how I mounted my GoPro onto my HJC Alpha 11 lid. Suss out where the mount is going to go. The main thing is getting the lens perfectly in the centre. And there we have it, all scuffed up. So take note of that. So time for the SUGRU. The tried and tested method, which is what I've got on all three of my lids now. So finally time to rig up the GoPro mount on my new helmet. I've got a selection of mounts here. I had this one on my modular AGV and I had this one on my Scorpion. So I just need to suss out where the mount is going to go and what sort of mount to use. So I'm contemplating just using one of these and sticking it on with SUGRU. But there's a bit of a problem. I can't find my SUGRU. It's been 2 weeks since I bought 2 packs of it and I've hunted high and low and can't find it anywhere. So while I've not got this SUGRU, I thought I'll throw the GoPro on to this. And the main thing is getting the lens perfectly in the centre of your chin. So that angle there needs adjusted. I don't have any screwdrivers or anything, and it's absolute lashing the rain out the back. So I'm not going out to do that at the minute. This is the mount of my Scorpion XO510 Air. And if you set that up straight in the middle of the chin, that would actually mean that your GoPro lens was off centre. So you have to go a bit to the side, because as you can see, the mounting point on the GoPros are in the centre, but the lens is off to the side. So I'll play about with this a little bit more. I really need to go and get a screwdriver because I've got an idea to use one of these, as well as this little curved arm. And what way does that go? I wish I had a tripod as well as SUGRU, so maybe that was an omen I didn't have the SUGRU. I'm thinking if I could stick that on there, because that is actually sitting very flat, whereas I've tried one of these and there's a bit of gapping, I think is the term. It's all about looking quite tidy. That actually does look quite tidy. The round one actually looks better right enough. In fact, that sits a lot better, so that's the one I would have to use. So here we have 2 packs of SUGRU. I finally found them. So methylated spirits, and a roll of masking tape. So I've got the mounts the way I need them to be, which is pretty much the same setup as I had on my old AGV. Slightly different to the Scorpion one, but it's a little bit tidier. I just need to mask off the surrounding area to give me a rough spec, a rough idea where to stick this part. Oops. So it's going to sit around there, I think. A bit further forward maybe. So that should be quite cool. So there we go, got it all taped up. Before I do anything, I'll put a little bit of methylated spirits onto a bit of paper towel, give the area the SUGRU is going on to a little wipe down, then give it a wipe over with a dry piece of paper towel. So this is all set up, ready to go. It's slightly out just now, but I can correct that by tightened it up too much by loosening off this screw here, and that'll let this arm here swing in a bit more. So good to go. So time for the SUGRU. Something I forgot to mention is when you're putting the SUGRU on the back of this, in order to stick it onto the surface on the helmet, it's going to seep through these slots, which have actually got little ridges, very slight imperfections in the mould, which will give the SUGRU another surface to bind to. Also, something I'll do normally is rough up the back of this, even just scratch it up, but ideally use a bit of emery paper or sandpaper. So I'm about to go and do that. And there we have it, all scuffed up. Ended up scoring it with a knife blade, and then I hit it with a rough file. So the SUGRU shall adhere to that far better than smooth, shiny black plastic. So here we have the freshly wiped down chin mount piece and a ball of SUGRU. It's just one packet I've actually used. So wear gloves when you're handling this stuff. It leaves them all black, I recall, and you don't really want to get the oils of your skin all over the SUGRU. So I'll create a square, rectangular sort of shape. Then I shall press that on over it, then push it onto the lid to set. So that's me pressed it semi-evenly all over it. And if you remember what I was saying before, you can maybe just see the excess has squeezed through a little bit. But you don't want that protruding out, otherwise that will stop your actual quick release clip getting into it. So take note of that. And there we have it. It's looking good. So I'll let that sit for 24 hours easy before I attempt to put the weight of the GoPro on it, because you don't want that falling off when you're riding, obviously. So here we have it. This is about 4 or 5 days later actually. I've just not had the chance. Too busy organising my recent bike purchase. So there we have it. Lens is in the centre of the chin. I opted out to use one of the GoPro mounts that I showed you because they were just a bit too bulky. So these little ones are the best in my opinion. There's a couple of wee tiny bits I need to trim off actually, but I've not got a blade here sharp enough to do it. So not as tidy, not as compact as maybe your chin mounts that are for sale at the minute, but the reliability of them is shocking. I thought about using one with even SUGRU, but there's not actually enough surface area on them for the SUGRU to be able to adhere to. So I opted for the tried and tested method, which is what I've got on all 3 of my lids now. And I've done many thousands of miles wearing my other 2 lids with the same method, mounting my camera on, holding the camera on in place. So no, I'm quite happy with that. So I'm looking forward to getting out on my recent bike that I've just bought yesterday, and I'll wear this in the better weather. The sun is out today, but it's Baltic and there's still lots of salt on the road. So take care, thanks for watching, cheers.